Alright, it says I'm live. So I'm going to hang out here for a second and see if anybody wants to come. I don't know how the notifications and such are going. I also don't know if anybody else is going to be coming on live at 7 tonight. I definitely don't want to like overlap with anybody. It's rude. But I have a bunch of like big news. I announced it a little bit earlier on Steemit, and it's gotten like no traction. But I am embarking on something pretty big and exciting for the year of 2018, and I'll do a specific video about it probably to elaborate just a little bit more. But I've got some big plans, and hopefully I'll get to showcase favorite small businesses in my community and really bless them financially, I hope. Not money at all. I make enough to live on. I'm like living. I'm really trying to, you know, put my money where my mouth is, but also put my money where I want it to go. Support something that's worthwhile. So I don't have anybody in here. Let's see. I just posted it like a couple minutes ago. I don't think anybody's seen it even. I hate that I have to scroll through everything before I get to it. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody has even seen it. So I'm going to post it over here real quick. Okay, so it's been posted 2 places. Huzzah. Okay. So, you know, I've been thinking a lot about how, you know, I preach to the people that I know, like, people around here, they're all like, oh, I love going to, for example, like Chili's or Applebee's or Texas Roadhouse or something. And Texas Roadhouse, I know a lot of people like that place. Hello, how are you, my dear? Trisha's here. So I know a lot of people talk about how like great. Aw, well, I'm sad that you can't stay, but I'm glad that you came by for a second. I appreciate it. So anyway, people really go crazy for Texas Roadhouse around here, and I don't understand it because the one here is possibly the worst run and worst staffed restaurant in the city. You know, and there are hundreds of other places to go. I don't even know. I don't even understand. Well, go record your blog. I've been lazy too. I've not been posting regularly or recording regularly. I've been really bad. So, anyway, these people, they go crazy for these restaurants, and they're just chain restaurants, and they're barely held together by people who are not committed to the company, in their service. And I personally prefer always to go to small locally owned restaurants, not even just like diners or anything, but restaurants. You know, they serve a good product, and it's these people's actual livelihood, and that shows in their service. And I always am telling people, why don't you go to this place? It's the same type of food that you're looking for. Oh, well, and they don't even have like a legitimate excuse. Like, I have a gift card and I don't have enough money to eat otherwise. That would be a legitimate excuse in my mind. No, no legitimate excuse. Just, I don't know. It's just where we always go. Well, like, branch out, you know? So anyway, try to, when I go out to eat, or if I am seeking some kind of entertainment, I try to keep it local. For me, I live downtown. You know, I'm near a bunch of restaurants, but not all the restaurants are downtown. This is a big place. It's 70,000 people just on this side of the river, and then there's like another 30,000 on the other side. Place. And, you know, it's a college town, so there's like restaurants and bars everywhere. You don't have to go to Chili's, Texas Roadhouse. You don't have to go to these places. Not that I'm like hating on these brands at all, but they just like they lack a lot of passion. So anyway, is for 2018 is I am going to be exclusively on a local level. You know, a lot of us that are in like the little group, you know, in this genre of channels, we are really conscious of consumerism and trying to be self-reliant and trying to do a lot of things yourself. And so we're pretty well covered on that front, but at the same time, improvement. And I'm taking a big step in my mind, because I'm going to allow my community to meet all of my needs. And I read somewhere that if you spend an extra like $350 a year on American products and American services, that it has some kind of big impact on the American economy as a whole, let alone your local economy. And I already try and spend and do as much as I can here, but there's always room for improvement. So this year, even though I don't have a yard at all, I'm going to be, no, he's chewing on something he shouldn't be, but I'm going to do all of my groceries, all of my toiletries, all of my my food, like entertainment, those are already pretty well covered. But I mean, I'm cutting out like Jimmy John's and McDonald's and, you know, all of that. I'm eating locally. And, you know, I've talked to some people about it, you know, and people that are really open-minded, and people who are really supportive of that kind of ideal most of the time. And they're like, you can't do that. Where are you going to get groceries? And so I'm quick to list off 5 locally owned grocery stores. You know, I can get milk shares if I need it, and I'm thinking about cutting out milk, but that's another topic. You know, I can get milk shares if I need to. I can get meat shares if I need to. You know, one of the places actually has a butcher shop that buys from the you know, and like I'm to buy local products, but it's not really feasible. I can't go up to my neighborhood toilet paper manufacturer. You know, I've looked at family cloth and reusable toilet paper and stuff like that, but it's not It's not really feasible for me. I have a really hard time. First of all, I do my laundry by hand, and I'm not doing that by hand. I'm not. No, I'm not. Um, and then it's hard for me to get to the laundromat. And even though my laundromat is locally owned and operated, and that's fine, I will be using them occasionally. But it's really hard to get there, and so then I just have like piles and piles of family cloth, we'll call it that, covered in human filth, sitting in my apartment. And I'm not going to do that. Hello, Heather Russo. How are you? So, you know, I'm going to try and buy local products as much as I can, but I will be buying exclusively at local retailers. They need to be locally owned and operated for them to get my business. And there is a place here called, well, I don't know if I interview them, but there's a place here. It's the place that buys local meat and create farmers and all of that, sell to them, and then they sell those things. I'm glad you're doing well, Heather. But that place is awesome. And I'm going to try and see if I can get with them. If you sign up and agree to buy so much meat per however often, you can get it at a discount. Or if you buy in bulk, then you get a discount on that as well. So I'm going to talk to them and see what my options are, hopefully this weekend. But anyway, that's the idea. All of my money. I mean, if I go on vacation, I'm going to be finding locally owned places there to spend my money. And, you know, the people here, even people who agree with me on these types of things, don't believe that there are ways and places to get basic things. I'm going to talk more later in another video, or at least in a post on Steemit or something, about food deserts. Indiana has a lot of food deserts where you can't get fresh produce outside of supermarkets, and even then the supermarkets are far enough away that you can't really walk to them from your house. And that's the food desert, where you rely on canned goods a lot. I'll be doing some canning, you know, and I'm going to be really trying to bulk up my my garden this year, even though I don't have a yard, like I said. I'm going to do a lot of container gardening, and I'm going to try and produce everything that I can, but it's not, I'm not going to get to 100%. I'm just not. But I was putting it out, and that's, you know, the risk you run when you're trying to have faith in your fellow man. So I don't know. I'm going to do some of that, and then I might even talk. It depends on how much time I have, but I'm going to talk to some of my friends about using parts of their yard, their patio, and that kind of thing in exchange for them. So I'm going to try and meet as many of my own needs as I can, especially when the season comes back around. Go to my local farmer's market for my produce, or go to the Amish market up the street for my produce, and have 2 farmers markets a week season, and that's really good. So yeah, there's so many options, and each and every one of them in a video. And our meat at a local butcher, buy a big family package, it'll last us the whole month. Wow. See, it's just me, so I worry about it's just me, so I worry about getting so much, but like at the same time I can process it, like, and package it in smaller portions for me and put it in the freezer. About that. I am cheating though. Christmas is here. And I'm getting a lot of, you're going to do a bunch of container gardening this spring. I'm going to be doing some videos on how I am going to go about gardening in my small space with the containers. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just running around bumping into stuff. I'm gonna post about that, but I'm cheating. People, oh, my friend is here. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. So, I left my groceries in my friend's car and she brought them to me. But anyway, I'm cheating. So people have given me gift cards to big retailers like Meijer and Kroger and Walmart and that kind of thing. And I boycott Walmart on principle. If I can not spend money there, I don't. I'm out of breath. I ran upstairs. I'm so fat now. Whew. Okay. Anyway, these people have given me these things, and I'm just going to use them before the first of the year. Whatever I haven't spent by the first, I guess. But I'm going to bulk up on stuff that I think is going to be hard to get, like rice and dry beans, which dry beans I could probably get, but it's good to have on hand. Rice, dry beans, toilet paper, toothpaste. Because toothpaste at the mom and pop's place is like the vegan, fluoride-free, icky, weird. I mean, I've tried it. Okay, I tried it. I can't. It's gross. I might look into buying the stuff to do my own toothpaste and deodorant and stuff like that. But even then, like, the ingredients might be hard to get. I'll have to look into it when that time comes. But $25 to Meijer, and that could last me 2 weeks in food. But I think I'm going to stock up on probably like toiletries and stuff. And I feel like I'm okay in doing that because it's before the first of the year, but the money's already been spent, so it has to happen now. So I'm stocking up on things, and that might be cheating, but I feel like it'll get me through the worst part of the year, which is going to be before the garden comes in. And before the garden comes in and before the farmers markets start and everything, I am a little bit worried. But I am a little bit worried. I don't want to just like sit around and eat rice and beans and stuff because that's all I've got, and the meat's super expensive and that kind of thing. But that's what I'm looking at this year. I excited to share that idea with you guys. If you want, go find Perceiving a Life on Steemit and check out the post I did, but you heard most of it just now. But I'm going to be doing updates on there. I'm going to try really hard to post videos about it, and it's going to be under this hashtag, spend small, live big. I'm going to make t-shirts with that on it. I have a pretty like script with a saying on it, and it's really cute, and I'm going to make t-shirts. So anyway, I think that's like pretty much it. Is there anything else I wanted to cover? Doug's playing with his phone. I even know where I'm going to get dog food. Somebody asked me how I'm going to get dog food and that kind of thing on a local level. And there's a local feed store within walking distance of my house. You know, how am I going to get meat? Well, there's the butcher shop. I can go get meat shares at different places. I mean, like bartering. I'm going to be doing some bartering because when my garden comes in, I'm going to need dirt. I don't have any of my own dirt. And I am either going to have to find a local landscape company that has some dirt and barter with somebody to borrow their truck or something to move it. I don't really know how it's going to work out, but I'm really confident that my community can meet my needs. I firmly believe that. I think it's going to encourage me to eat more seasonally, which I think is going to be important for my body. And I think it's going to encourage me to try a lot harder this year with my garden because it's going to matter a lot more. You know, if I don't put in the effort, I'm not going to have food. Winter. And it's going to be an experience that impacts not only my life and boosts my confidence, you know, to let those big name stores go. But I also hope to inspire people to at least think about spending more money locally. You don't have to dive in headfirst like I am, but it's something that, you know, a lot of us don't have places, like we don't have great local economies. And I really would like to idealistically think that if people cared more, they would be better. And I know that's not always the case, but I think that's a lot of it. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to doing interviews with the local business owners if they allow me to, and showcasing them, and just really raising awareness for mindful consumerism. That's this whole thing, is mindful consumerism. You need something. Your first thought that pops into your head, if you're like me, is, oh man, I gotta go to insert big name store. And I gotta go to Walmart. I gotta go to Payless / Kroger. Oh man, I gotta go to Publix. I gotta go to Winn-Dixie. I think Winn-Dixie and Marsh don't exist anymore. But anyway, you know what I mean. You know, I've got to go to Meijer. I've got to go to Walgreens. I've got to go to whatever it is. But you don't have to. It's just the first thing in your mind. And how powerful would it be if more people didn't say, oh, I got to go to Meijer, but instead they said, go to Jones Pharmacy. Or, oh, I'm going to go to, oh, I'm going to go to the farmer's market or the Amish market or the community garden, or I'm going to drive all the way out to the movie theater and watch a movie. I think I'm going to go to the free show at the music center and just your community can be good. You know, I know this community here is a lot better than the one that I had back home. Back home, you don't have these opportunities. I'm really trying hard to take full advantage of this opportunity because it matters. It really, really matters. And if it doesn't matter to anybody else, it at least matters to me and the people who own a small business. I'm going to finish out here by saying that at the end of my Steemit post, I put a thing that says something along the lines of every bit of change in your pocket is worth so much more in the eyes of a small business owner. You may be paying a little bit more for that, but that's their cost. That's what they have to get. And you're going to be repaid in loyalty and service that you're not going to get at the big box stores. So think about, I know a lot of you guys already, you know, kind of think that way, but if you feel like sharing this video or that post or whatever, great. If not, just keep an eye out for me in 2018. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm pretty nervous, but I think it's going to be great. So anyway, you know, thanks for you guys that came and hung out in the chat. And if you're watching this replay, I really appreciate it. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.